Hi, this is On Imagination. I had a massive day yesterday, and it, per usual, had consequences. Yesterday, I summarized mathematics in ratio to the life journey. I discovered the successor and predecessor of independence and dependence. And I also reverse engineered sexual relations with integrated bonding. And I also beheld the life journey. The life journey is what all of this is and has been. And this is going to be a very short video. I composed Mathematics Demystified on my website. So that's available if you want to look at my math work. It literally is the first 4 to 5 stages of mathematics that the educational system has removed. So if you struggle with math, it's probably because you require all the first 4 to 5 stages of mathematics. Basically, educators removed algebra from mathematics, from mathematical learning. And because they removed algebra from mathematical learning, a lot of people, 40% of the population, struggle with mathematics. I put it back. That is in Mathematics Demystified. And you can find all of these courses at annashealinggarden.org. I then had, once I did that, and this is it, is once I realized where math had been altered and I fixed that, it opened the door for my comprehension of successor and predecessor for independent and dependence. This is a huge topic. I will be doing a lot of work just on that. And it's literally the everything. It is I don't have a word for everything. I just don't. The academic disciplines are languages, nature's languages, and there are 18 of them. And that's only the primary language. So to get the primary language of nature, you require all 18 disciplines. In schools, you're only taught about 12 to 14. And even there, you're taught, I don't want to talk about that. It's abysmal. And as a result, people are not able to go through their life journey. The life journey is not at all what we are doing. It gets obstructed. And we make it barely, we only make it, we don't make it at all. You're supposed to complete the life journey before you die. In fact, if you complete the life journey before you die, you won't die. We are fucking it up that much. After I fixed mathematics and put the algebra back into math, I saw the relations, that is the success of the predecessor, the independent, the dependent. And then I saw sexual relations, and then I saw the life journey. It was literally putting the algebra back into math, just broke open the next 3 stages of information that just flooded to me. I put the information I worked on with sexual relations into my Wisdom Love course, which is available at annashealinggarden.org. And I still have to break down life journey in the successor, predecessor of independence, dependence. And that is, but I'm still gawking at the breathtaking beauty and awness of the life journey and what that is, leaving me in a state where I really cannot. I am changed. There is no, I am changed on such a level. And I am effective immediately starting up, continuing, naming what this is, which is the Annals of Asha, or the Asha Chronicles. I'm not sure which of those two will stick around. We'll see what people use it, but the Asha Chronicles is literally the documentation of my going through the life journey and documenting it at every single stage. It is something I began in 2015, but it's actually a journey I started in 1984. And in 1995, I adopted it as my everything. I did not gain full conscious awareness of it until I reached 2023. And then there is nothing in the world more important than this. There is nothing in the world more important than this knowledge. There just isn't. This is the light in the dark of all of our existence on such a level. We have been in the dark ages for over 2,000 years, and this literally ends the dark ages. It ends the mystery. Instead of trying to figure out where we're going, who we are, what we are, this tells you what we are, who we are, where we're going, and the order of operations in which it takes to get us there. It's the difference between not knowing it's the difference between being lost and being found. It's that simple. It is the difference between I am found. I am found. This is not a religion. This is not spirituality. This is a knighthood. This is a devotion to truth that surpasses anything we have ever known. And it is so beautiful. Every time I come into new knowledge, it renders me speechless at the magnitude, the balance, and the beauty of it. It is simply breathtaking. And it's so mind-blowing in its balance, perfection, and beauty that I'm always lost for words when I first see it. It is literally looking at the face of God. It is revealing the face of God over and over. It is defining and adding definition to the face of God so that you have greater comprehension as you gain more and more pieces of it. And then you understand your relativity to it. And you can't not turn yourself over to it. And it is the most beautiful thing that there are no words yet to even describe it. And then you set forth and you use word. In many cases, it requires the invention of new word just to put it into description. And all I can think of is, this is all because they had taken algebra out of mathematical learning. And in returning it, it shifts all of math into a completely different light. And then it was a wave of, oh, that's what math is. And then, oh, that's what music is. Oh, that's what art is. That's what dance is. And suddenly all of everything is now relative to the life journey. The definition of, the translation of, it's the journey of the life journey. And that's it right there. It is the becoming. It is the transformation between creation, evolution, evolution, creation, back into the integrated one. And it is only attainable through the dissection and the comprehension of the 18 languages. And that only unlocks the first stage. And I can feel it changing me. And I know I am something that's never been before. The only thing I can even point to in any kind of familiarity to everybody is King Arthur's Knights at the Round Table. But that is like, that's the seed of where this is. What's beyond that point is something so magnificent. It's a service. It's literally a humbling servitude to truth, to knowledge, to wisdom. And suddenly esotericism, esotericos, Gnosticism. There is no one in the world for at least 2,000 years who has ever understood those two sciences. I see significant misunderstanding, miscomprehension. A bunch of uneducated parrots, trying to understand something that they can't even touch because they have not done the work. And it is so far beyond comprehension until you do the work. It is truly a servant. It's a service. I'm at the edge of language. There's no language where I'm at again. So my language is deteriorating again because it's not here. It has to be invented. I was looking at the word noble. Somebody had mentioned it. Actually, a couple people had mentioned it over the last 2-3 days to me. And I finally did the etymology on the word noble. It's a word that I don't feel. And noble is a third person word. It's a word you can witness in others, but it's not one you can experience. And on the inside, what they would call noble is what I call, well, servitude. It's the submission, the humble submission of turning yourself over to the restoration, revival, preservation, the journey of this truth. And when I looked at the etymology of noble, it actually comes from the word, from the Greek for knowledge, gnosis, Gnostic, which they removed the G, so it's noble, to know. So noble, Gnostic, and knowledge are actually all the same word. And that's when I realized that there's wisdom, which is just pure knowledge, which is only achieved with pure truth, which is only achieved using pure logic. And it becomes this knowledge, truth, logic, and this thing. Oh, it's very much apparent. Oh, it's very much apparent. It's apparent. It's the predecessor, successor. It's the sequence. We all live according to a sequence. There it is. We live according to a sequence. And if your sequence gets messed up, well, that's in ratio to your mental illness, your disease, your aging, your dying, all of it. It's a sequence. And either you have the right sequence or you don't. It's a dichotomy. It's not an opposite. It's not black and white. It's a dichotomy, which means it's all going to be in ratio to how sorted your sequence is, how organized your sequence is. Now, there's a point where your sequence becomes so disorganized that you end up with resource partitioning of the brain. Resource partitioning of the brain is when you use your brain so little that your body says, we're not using this, let's disintegrate it. And now you have disease and then death. And prior to resource partitioning, it is caused by disorganized sequencing of your logic. The disorganized sequencing of your logic it feels really good to be able to communicate all of this finally. The disorganized sequencing of logic means that your life journey, your comprehension of your life journey is so disorganized that you can't function anymore, that your brain begins to break down and disintegrates. And it disintegrates to the point where that is when it triggers the resource partitioning process. It's very much a triggering process. It is believed in science that the brain and the physical is the catalyst of mental illness. They have the sequence wrong. In fact, every time you have a problem, you have a sequence wrong. When you have a sequence correct, you fix it. When you have the correct sequence, you fix it with 100% accuracy. But you have to know the sequence. This is pure mathematics, which is what I discovered yesterday when I put the algebra back into math. Suddenly, math made sense. The world made sense. Everything made sense. Oh, they just took the algebra out of math. All right. So the problem with the world today is they took the algebra out of math. So the mathematics you have been learning does not contain algebra. Not even your algebra contains algebra. Let me explain what I mean by this. There is learning about algebra, and then there is applying algebra. When you study algebra, you are learning about algebra, but the algebra has not been applied to the learning and teaching method. The algebra is the sequencing. It's the organization of mathematics. It's disorganized. Algebra is the organization of the life journey. It's the sequencing. But when they composed the mathematical curriculums, they removed algebra, the sequencing, from the study of sequencing. That's right. Which is why 40% of people who study mathematics don't understand it. It's why they struggle with math so much. So you end up walking away not understanding mathematics. And because of this obstruction, it begins this massive disorganization process. And at the same time, because your parents never learned algebra or how to apply the sequencing to real life, they did not know how to organize their own thoughts or their own life journey. And as a result, they passed that on to you through mimic, mirror, repetition, response, and reciprocity. So it began this entire breakdown of a loss of sequencing, which is algebra, because they took the algebra out of algebra. Once you understand how sequencing works, and algebra, and the life journey, you have the ability then to literally reorganize your thoughts, put them in the right order of sequencing, and you can literally fix your brain, which turns your brain back on, which prevents the resource partitioning process, which continues your life journey. Everything that is wrong with the world today is an obstruction of the life journey. All of it. The life journey is in every single thing, at every single level, no matter how much you break it down through disintegration or how much you expand out into the integration, which is still the life journey, which is infinite. It is literally Plato's point, disintegration, integration to Plato's point, which is the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. I found the science of God. And God is the life journey. It's the creation of, the process of, the becoming of, the integration of, the conclusion of, and then from there, the foundational building blocks that set up the next foundational building block for the next life journey, which is the sequence, which is algebra. Algebra is a fraction of logic. Logos means word, which means God. God is logic. The word love and the word logic begin with L-O because they share the same root word, because they are the same thing. I am in the process of trying to figure out if logos or love came first. I hypothesize that love is the state of being in logic, and logic is the actual progression of love. They are interchangeable, one and the same. Love is the feeling of logic. Logic is the science and pathway of love. Both are nourishing growth. One you can feel, the other you can speak, translate, dissect. Love and logic are inseparable. Oh my God, they truly are. So this is officially the Chronicles of Asha and the life journey. This information is literally applicable in everything we do. There isn't anything in all that does not follow the laws and the order of the life journey. And every time I dissect the next stage, it just reveals more of itself. And that adds more definition. And it changes me. I am an Ashavana. This is what it means to be an Ashavana. It is the pursuit of truth. It is the dedication and the servitude of the preservation and the restoration of that truth. There is nothing else, because this is all. Yeah. May the truth always find you.